that you want to talk about?
My life. I know you'd be interested in that. Well, that's not what the conversation is going to be about.
Part of it, well, it's your life still.
Yeah.
Welcome back to our channel. I'm Joe.
I'm Lisa.
This is another Car Chronicles, and this time, the topic is, what's the word again? Non-negotiables.
Non-negotiables.
Yeah.
So things that we definitely are not doing without in our lives.
Yeah.
Certain things that it doesn't matter to argue about. I'm gonna be that way, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Some of them, it's not like life and death, but it's important to us. You know,
right.
your values, what you deem as important. Yeah. So some of it might seem frivolous, but that's us. That's me.
Right. My first one, I think, one non-negotiable for me is my faith.
Okay.
My faith that grounds me, that helps me to know what I believe in, what my standards
to
are.
stay on.
Right. What to avoid.
Yeah.
And
what to get
why,
more of.
Yeah, what to get more of, and why I'm to avoid certain things,
Yeah.
so that in the long run the greater benefit will be mine.
Yeah.
Perhaps not here on this earth, but in another time to come.
Yeah, that's
So my
good.
faith grounds.
And your faith doesn't necessarily mean going to church. It's personal.
Yeah.
It's what you believe on the inside. It's the relationship you have with God, with your God. Yeah. Doesn't have to be like every 5 days I go here, or you have to pray 15 times a day, or you have to. It's a personal relationship that you have with your God. Oh, birdies.
It's first of all accepting that there is a creator, that he made all of this, that he left us in charge of, and that we're to take care of it and not hoard too much, so that there is enough left for others who are here right now on earth, and also enough left for future generations. So accepting that first, accepting certain standards, because although I hold these values dear to me, there are others who look at me and say, she says she believes in God, she says she's a Christian, so how come so and so? So although I want to live my life my way, I also have to be mindful that I'm here as a witness.
You're making an impression on others.
And I don't want them to get the wrong impression of what my faith means to me, or what are some of the pathways that my faith allows me to travel. So I have to be careful about that as well. And it includes making sure that I keep the connection with God. And the ways I find to keep my connection with God are through personal devotions, are through my prayer life,
nature,
are through seeing and viewing the wonderful nature that reminds me that there must be a God, that there must be someone who created it in place. So one of the things in my life that I can definitely not do without is my faith.
That's a good non-negotiable.
Yeah.
All right, my first one, I'm in agreement with yours.
Yeah.
But my first one that I want to touch on is keeping my circle small. I like intimate circles. So I don't have a whole host of friends and family that I keep in touch with and that have to know every little, every bit of detail about my life. I love keeping my circle private, small, significant.
Yes.
And I like keeping in touch with my circle as well.
Yes.
So if you don't hear from me, perhaps you're not a part of the inner circle.
Or perhaps it's your turn to keep in touch.
That's good. That's true.
Because we find sometimes that in friendship, we're under a bridge, by the way, and that's why this is so dark.
Yeah.
But we find sometimes that in a friendship, it's a one-way street.
Yes.
Like it's you.
Always having to reach out.
Right. So if you haven't heard from us, perhaps it's time that you reached out to us.
That's true.
Because we're always the ones reaching out. So I agree with your second one, keeping a close, intimate circle of family and friends.
Yeah. And keeping in touch with them.
Yes.
So making sure that they know they're part of the inner circle. You don't have to call up and say, guess what? You're in the inner circle,
right?
But you know,
They just
you're
know.
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My next one, non-negotiable for me, is keeping up with creativity.
Oh yeah.
That's a non-negotiable for me.
Yeah.
I just always feel like doing something creative, and it might be writing a song, writing a poem, doing some art, decorating, DIY, making something. But I just feel like, what would my life be like if I just didn't create anything? There was
do
nothing
anything.
that I made.
Yeah.
So my creativity, I like, and it's non-negotiable. Wherever I am, whatever sphere I'm in, I would like to know that I'm creating something. And I've created lots in the past that perhaps
You
we can share
some of them.
Yeah. Some, they're not all in fact, there's none that's perfect, right? But I like the fact that
There's some satisfaction from knowing that you made it.
You created something. Yeah. So I can just imagine how pleased God was when he saw this earth that he created.
Yeah.
So my little vision of creativity is nothing compared to what God has created himself. But I like being creative.
My next non-negotiable, and it might be yours as well. For a long time it wasn't really, but for now it definitely is. Do not accept less than you
your
deserve.
Less than your worth.
Yeah. For a long time I put up with absolute foolishness.
Rubbish.
In my personal life, in my work life, even in my church life. Put up with things that I know I don't deserve. I deserve better than that. For a long time I didn't have that as a value, but now that's so important to me, and I feel so confident now in stating no, this is not for me, this is not what I want. Saying no to things is important to me because I have to live with myself. I have to live with my own mental health, and that's so important. I saw so many, well, hereof, I don't know if I know any personally, who've, as the saying goes, gone off their rockers. Because
get
they just
mad, get mentally ill.
Because they just accept every and anything that people push their way or force on them, and that's not right. So I proudly stand firm now in saying no to things I don't want, I don't believe in, I don't want to be a part of my life.
So it's important, people, and this goes to men as well as to women. It's important that you know your worth, know your standards, know where you will not go below, and ensure that you
be confident in saying it as well. And maybe you have to practice it. I had to practice, and sometimes saying no, you don't have to be verbal with it, but the message must get across. I am not accepting that. So you make your decisions and you make your stand based on that you're not going to accept that.
Woo, that was deep. Well, my next one, I believe one non-negotiable for me should be cleanliness. And there is a saying, I don't think it is biblical, but it's often said cleanliness is next to godliness. And I don't know if it's next to godliness. I don't know if I'd accept that. But I just find that your mental health is better if you're in a clean surrounding. That helps. That does help. So if the situation that you're in is too messy, then it's time to do something
to be
about
creative.
it. Yes, hard to
think clearly.
It's hard to just sit in and wallow in the dirt. So it is best, I think, my view is, it is best to clean up your surroundings. Get some pretty flowers every now and again. And it doesn't mean that you have to buy a bunch every week. In fact, on our table right now, what I have as a vase of flowers is green leaves. Green leaves that I picked from a tree outside and put in.
And it brings some freshness.
But help yourself to the knowledge of some things that will help you to keep clean your surroundings. So some simple things that you can make. Some cleaning products, agents that you can make
yourself. That's true. That's
so
not
it does
harmful
not
to
have
the environment.
Right, and it does not have to be expensive.
Like our favorite cleaners that we make. We use in the kitchen every single day, or we use it to clean windows. And it's all homemade, using stuff that you already have at home, but makes the environment less toxic. But along the lines of cleanliness, I was thinking personal hygiene is so important to me, and I cannot understand how some people
just refuse to follow that guideline, that you're to have a shower, that you're to have a bath,
your teeth.
Brush your teeth, do your hair,
be presentable. Doesn't mean you have to be all dressed up, but just fresh.
The
and
basic
clean. Hygiene
rules must be followed. And it does help your
I'm sorry for
health.
some people, maybe both male and female as well, where the other partner wants to push themselves on you and they're not clean. Absolutely horrible.
You can see that they're not clean. You can smell that they're not clean.
Oh no.
So non-negotiable.
That's definitely
make sure that you're presentable and that your personal hygiene is on par, up there.
My next non-negotiable is to try to maintain some physical exercise. I know how good it is for my body. It's not that I don't know, I know, but sometimes either I'm too lazy to do it or the weather prohibits it. But I'm thinking, if the weather prohibits you from going outside,
you can still do something
what you can do. You know,
so although we have that as a non-negotiable, we're just
getting used to you know, accepting that as a non-negotiable, and we wouldn't want to do without it.
Right. So we're not saying that we're pros and that we're, you know, the best at it, but it's good to know and be aiming towards it. So that's what we're doing right now, aiming towards having a better health, generally speaking, and a better physical health as well, which includes going to the gym, includes going on walks when we can, when the weather is good, and we intend to as well follow the walking more as the spring and summer come along.
You don't necessarily have to be inside the gym where you're all locked in. And I think the idea of varying your physical activities too is good. So I've been thinking, some days I can do a walk. I can do an uphill walk, maybe not steep uphill, but
no hiking.
No hiking really, but make your heart work faster. Throwing a ball out in a field, that's physical activity. You have to go fetch it. You have to stretch your arms, your back muscles, you know, get some exercise as well. So I like the idea of that being a non-negotiable in my life nowadays.
You know, I'm going back, to the point that we had said about creativity. I believe as well that in being creative, you can do so with your meals, with the actual meals that you cook, the way you cook it, the way you present it, how you experiment, how you try others' cultures.
I think go over that one first. How you try others' cultures.
So that as well to me is a non-negotiable. We live in a multicultural society. So just to live and be part of your own circle of Jamaicans, we're Jamaicans by birth, I don't think it's acceptable. I think we should experiment. I think we should extend ourselves.
Cultures.
And we should be appreciative of everyone and all that their culture represents. We don't have to take on everything that they say or do, but it's good to have an appreciation and knowledge, so that as well you don't offend the people. If anything else, if nothing else, that you don't offend them. So that's part of being creative, I think. My next non-negotiable in this life is travel. Woo! Experimenting. Talk about experimenting and experiencing. I'm not good at geography, by the way. Absolutely poor at geography. Finding my way around, knowing where things are, all that, you know, it's just not part of me. I was built, I think, to figure it out. And there are people who, there are people who are very good at that and knowing their way about and being able to follow a sat nav or a, what did the others call it, tom or travel, whatever. But I like the idea. But we like going places. I like experiencing new cultures, new food, new surroundings, even leaving home and being in the same country but in a different environment. Somewhere else. I absolutely love that. It's one of my favorite things, travel. And to me that's non-negotiable. But nowadays I want to be saving more. I have to be thinking, I think that's another non-negotiable as saving, because we're at the point in life when soon we're not going to be able to work forever
and earn forever.
And yet we will still have life. We live in a country as well where the healthcare system is relatively good. So people are living longer and longer. So you want to have enough money to be able to take care of yourself, or for others to take care
what
of
you like.
Right, when you're
including
older,
travel,
and still be able to do what you do. So a non-negotiable for me is definitely saving
more.
Yeah.
But travel goes hand in hand. But the point I was going to make is that I've decided now I'm only going to travel once per year outside the country.
Okay.
So I've pledged to myself once per year because I want to save more. So there will be other trips that are not, overseas, that don't involve an airplane.
Yesterday, yesterday, I don't know where that came from. But last year we went to Jamaica twice in 1 year.
Yeah, so we'll cut back a bit. Yeah. And we had a major holiday as well in the UK. But anyway, we'll cut back a bit. But to me, it's a non-negotiable. As long as I can, I will.
Experience life. Experience different places. Yeah.
Another non-negotiable for me, people, is being grateful. Always giving thanks.
Showing gratitude.
So many things have happened to me personally, both good and bad. But in everything, I still give thanks. In every single thing. I lost my son. That would be in a different video when I muster up enough courage to be able to talk about that. But I am so grateful for everything that I experienced during the short years that I had him around, And every night before going to bed, I sort of look back at my day, see how things have been. Yeah. I always do that. I don't plan it either, but to me it's a non-negotiable. It happens, without planning. Think about how my day has been. Even when I was teaching, thinking about this situation that happened and this that happened and what could I do better. Thank God for everything that happened. Yeah. And it's during those times sometimes that I remember, this child had asked me for this or that, or to do this or that. I totally forgot, but it always comes back to me at night. When I'm being grateful and just looking back at my day and giving God thanks for every single thing. And I find it makes me appreciate more, because I'm grateful for everything, no matter how big, no matter how small, no matter how negative things are. I appreciate everything because certain situations help you to be stronger.
Some things but build also, your faith as well.
But also, what's the word? To empathize with other people.
Okay, yeah.
Certain situations, if you don't experience it yourself, you can't tell other people, I know what you're going through, I understand. So being grateful for every single thing actually helps you to be a better person, not just for yourself, but also for other people as well. So to me, a non-negotiable is being grateful for every little thing. And it doesn't have to be written down, by the way. I sometimes write it, but it doesn't have to be
a grateful list is nice to write down.
Yeah, gratitude list.
And that's why we used to send gratitude journals.
Yeah, we used to send to our friends. Yeah, in lockdown, just a journal for everybody.
Because there was so much going on through COVID times, but as well there
were so many positive and nice things happening.
So those are things we can look back on and say, oh yes, that happened, but I'm grateful that through it all I've kept my faith. I've kept sane. Most of my loved ones still with me. So God is good all the time.
Guys, this next category might be termed as frivolous
by some of you.
By some people.
So okay, we'll agree and just call it frivolous non-negotiables. And the first one is making your bed.
Yeah, making your bed. I don't see how people just get up and go. Yeah, well, to each his own here, because some people, there are more important things to get done, maybe more urgent, maybe in the stage of life they're at as well, they have lots of little kids and to get up and get ready and so on. So we understand, but for me it's just a nice feeling to actually do it, but also to see a well-made bed, comfy to get into at night, clean, fresh. Nothing better than going down to bed in a nice, fresh, clean set of bed linen. Rather
so that's
than a frivolous, non-negotiable
go and
maybe.
jump down into one that you hadn't even made that day nor previous days.
Yeah.
Nah.
And especially
Non-negotiable.
if the bed sheet isn't clean. No, not nice.
And not that it has to be ironed, because do you know there are some people who iron
for
their
some
bed.
people that would be a non-negotiable.
That's true.
Their bed sheets have to be ironed.
So to each his own, guys.
That's true. So life, I like that life is just made up of so many different types of people in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Because some people can't put the sheet on unless it's been ironed.
Some people iron their sleepwear. And
There
some
you
people,
go.
some women don't iron theirs, but iron the husband's.
No. Priorities, eh?
Yeah. But that's it, I think. There. Well, can we think of any other
Non-negotiable.
frivolous
non-negotiables.
I don't know. Tell us some
Saying
of
hi to
yours.
people. Saying hi to people depends.
Yeah.
You're on the street, or you go in a shop, or you go in a building and somebody stood there. You
Yeah.
have to pass them.
Why just brush? Like in the gym the other day, somebody
Oh.
came in and they didn't
You
touch
could-
me at all, but I could feel the air of them passing me, and they
just
didn't
passed.
say hi.
And worse, some people look at you and then just pass.
So maybe frivolous to you, but it's
To me,
good
it's
to
nice
say
to
hi.
say hi to people.
Shows that you have little decency about you.
Yeah, I don't have to strike up a full-blown conversation. It
no.
all depends, because sometimes there's
Maybe after the hi they say something, and which can lead to a
Yeah.
little bit of a conversation. But generally speaking, it's good, I think, to say hi to people, to say hello, to say good morning. Yeah, and even at home when we wake up
first thing.
yeah, morning, or if it's the first time for the day I'm going to see you in my house, even if you sleep and live in there,
Yeah.
I expect you to say hi or good morning or something, not just walk
I
around
always
like
say
you own this
morning,
place.
morning.
So those
Morning,
are
Leisa.
some of our non-negotiables. Tell us in the comments what you think about ours, and also
And if you have any
yeah,
that's frivolous or not.
yeah, tell us about
non-negotiables.
those as well. But thank you for joining us for today's Car Chronicles on non-negotiables. This list, by the way, is not exhaustive. I'm sure we could think of lots and lots more, but we don't want this video to be hours long, right? So that's it for today. We'll see you another time on Car Chronicles.